Jesus Christ, lover of all, spread wide the hem of your garment, bring healing, bring peace. Spread wide the hem of your garment, bring healing, bring peace. When I lived in the Abbey on the island of Iona off the west coast of Scotland, which is not far from Ireland, we used to have a healing service, prayers for healing, every Tuesday evening. And often we would sing that chant that I just sang. Always we would tell one of the stories about Jesus healing. There's so many of them. But here's my favourite one. Just then, a woman who had been subject to bleeding for 12 years came up behind Jesus and touched the hem of his cloak. She said to herself, if I only touch his cloak, I will be healed. So she came up behind and touched the edge of his garment. Immediately her bleeding stopped. Who touched me? Jesus asked. And when they all denied it, Peter said, Master, there's people crowding and pressing against you from all sides. But Jesus said, somebody has touched me. I know that power has gone out from me. And he turned and he saw her. Take heart, daughter, he said. Your faith has healed you. And the woman was healed at that moment. I love this because of that line, I know that power has gone out from me. I find this detail of the energy exchange inspiring and fascinating. And I take healing very seriously. I think that in our modern way of being, we overlook the incredible healing that pours out all around us because we mistake healing for cure. And we overlook the 1,000,001 little moments of healing that happen every day. And I believe that a commitment to make space for healing and to pray for healing is something that Christianity asks of us. In John 14:12, it says, very truly, I tell you, whoever believes in me will do the works I have been doing, and they will do even greater things than these. I don't hear people talking about this in the pulpit very often. Yes, every week there's always prayers for healing, but it seems to have been transplanted with social justice. And I think social justice is a healing. And I don't ever want us to stop talking about action for social justice, but I want us to also bring in the heart dimension of healing and look at this as an aspect of spiritual growth. I'll tell you more about that later. But I want to tell you a story about my friend Leslie. Leslie, when she was 40, received that terrible diagnosis of cancer. I think it was in her uterus. She was dying. She had 4 children. She was desperate. She desperately wanted to live. And she went to this healer called John of God and went into this room with all these other ill people and went into the meditation with this Brazilian healer. And the next day her cancer was gone. The doctors could not explain it at all. And I met Leslie just after this had happened when we went to seminary together. I was interested in this story because I'd heard of John of God. I'd learned a little bit about him. I'd learned that he would pray to Mother Mary. So a year later, when my friend from Brazil, Susie, gave me this is the only piece of religious bling I own. It's a crucifix that came from John of God's community, and he blessed it himself. And I was very taken with this and used it in my prayers for healing. I'd sometimes wear it to church and the little girls would always come up and touch it. So Shortly after that, my friend Warren got cancer in his brain. And I thought, I think that he should have this holy healing thing, so I gave it to him. Fast forward a year, and I learn that John of God is one of the most corrupt spiritual leaders that has ever existed. He raped hundreds of women. He's in prison now. His own daughter ran away at 14 to get away from the violence and the sexual abuse. And here I am, trying to take all this in. I've given this to my friend who has cancer, right? So I phone up my friend Leslie and I go, Leslie, did you hear the news about John of God? What do you make of that? And she said, I don't really remember what she said. Actually, I was just so stunned. But she was like, he did heal me. I still didn't feel okay, so I went to my friend Warren and I said, Warren, you know that crucifix that I gave you that's full of healing? I do think it's still full of healing, but the man who blessed it is very, very corrupt. And he said, Simon, yes, I know this. But the thing is, it's Mary that does the healing, Mother Mary and Christ. It is not this man. He is just the vehicle. He's just the bus driver. And then he went on to say, it rains on the just and the unjust alike. Years later, I am still struggling with the fact that very corrupt people can save my friend's life. And Warren gave this back to me shortly before he died. And he prayed with it for 2 years. A year when he didn't know, and a year when he did know. And I think that this is one of the most uncomfortable, amazing, holy objects that I own. Only if I can accept that God pours out mercy and healing on the just and the unjust alike. And isn't that such a stumbling block for us? We want good things to happen to good people. Why is it that this person survived and my friend Warren died and his 3 children had to grow up without a dad? We don't want it to be that way. We argue with God. But I have been good. My mother is the kindest person. Whatever the prayer is, we argue with the nature of God, which is unconditional. Warren had a very strong faith. He was very devoted to Mother Mary, and his wife, who is my friend, often sings songs to Mary, songs of healing. And I thought that I would sing one of them for you. This is a Requiem I'm going to sing for you. It's by a folk singer called Eliza Wilkinson. And she wrote it after the tsunami in 2002 hit Indonesia. I don't know if you remember that terrible tsunami. Mother Mary, full of grace, awaken. All our homes are gone, our loved ones taken by the sea. Mother Mary, calm our fears, have mercy. Drowning in a sea of tears, have mercy. Hear our mournful plea. Our world has been shaken. We wander, our homelands forsaken. In the dark night of the soul, bring some comfort to us all. Oh, Mother Mary, come and carry us in your embrace. illuminates the path where we are going. Have mercy on us all. In funeral fires burning, each flame to your mystery returning. In the dark night of the soul, your shattered dreamers make them whole. Oh, Mother Mary, find us where we've fallen out of grace. Lead us to a higher place. Mary. I don't sing because I love music. I used to. I sing because in these prayers there's an intimacy with the sacred presence that helps me pray. We hear about the miracles in the Bible passages all the time, and I don't really know what to make of miracles. I don't need to explain them away or rationally come up with some answer. My favourite definition of a miracle is one offered by Caroline Mives. She says, a miracle is when God bends the laws of the universe just for you. A miracle happens when God bends the laws of the universe just for you. I love this because it clearly demonstrates a beloved reciprocal component. It is important that we are chosen people, not because we're tribal and righteous, let's get rid of that nationalism, but because we are in intimate connection with our Creator. And when we are in that intimate connection, one of the things that is given is peace, a peace that passes all understanding. We celebrate that most Sundays, don't we? That healing is also given. For us post-Enlightenment rational people, it is so difficult for many to enter into a loving relationship with God because we don't understand what God is. We find it very difficult to answer the Jewish teaching of Deuteronomy, this one. With all my heart, with all my soul, with all my strength, I'll love you, my Elohim, with everything, I am yours. That song is maybe a sermon for another day. I think miracles happened around Jesus as a byproduct of his holiness, and they were not the main deal. Many of you know that I love the saints. Recently I've been teaching on Clare and Francis of Assisi. I've spoken to you about Bridget and Columba before, especially the early Celtic saints. Now, one of the things that all these people have in common is stories of them dishing out healing. Clare of Assisi in particular, people flocked to her for healing. And it's in the name. You don't get to be a saint if you haven't had healing. They investigate it. They do it the Catholic Church take it very seriously. We Celts just decided people were saints, whereas they have a whole process. A miracle is where God bends the laws of the universe just for you. I love this because it points to something else about healing, that healing is linked with wholeness or the unitive life force. And what do I mean by this? Okay, when we're stressed or physically injured, emotionally crushed, or some part of us, like our lungs, is exposed to toxicity, the entire self gets affected. Likewise, if you can strengthen and nurture the whole, then the individual part that is sick is strengthened. Think about things like forest bathing, or natural beautiful settings, or the kindness of our nurse or loved one that is tending us. All these things make a huge difference to our healing process. And so often when we're injured and sick, we just want to go home to our own bed, to be with our person, our pet, our safe environment. The world around us plays a huge part in our healing or illness. Likewise, mysteriously, music and art touches us in depth when we are in great need. And what I'm about to say is the crux of my sermon today. So if you forget everything else, please remember this, that healing is one of God's graces. I believe that healing is a grace given to us by God. Like mercy and forgiveness, it is the natural state of alignment in us and in God. Healing is literally printed into our cells and our body. I find this incredible. Just before he died, Leonard Cohen wrote this song that haunts me. I'm not going to sing it, I'll just speak it. If the sea were made of sand alone, and the flowers made of stone, and no one that you hurt could ever heal, well, that's how broken I would be, what my life would seem to me if I didn't have your love to make it real. That line, if no one that you hurt could ever heal, haunts me. Because what would it be like if everybody that I had hurt could never heal? It would be unbearable. That healing is given to us and possible, maybe the word would be possible, is a miracle. We live in a very forgiving and healing universe. Humans don't always align with this, but it's printed into Mother Nature and into the cells of our being, physical and emotional and beyond. Just like when we cut our finger, healing starts. When the death happens, the grieving process begins and the body knows what to do. We're lost, but our body knows what to do. It is printed into us. Under the surface, a lot of wise healing is happening of its own accord, just like breathing. And a downside of this givenness of healing is that we often overlook it and dismiss it. We dismiss our capacity to send light and aid to others in their healing process. We might send flowers, but we leave it to the healing professionals to do the actual healing. We've professionalized medicine and healing, just like we've professionalized holiness and priesthood. When the pandemic hit, healing became a central part of my musical ministry. When I sing, I'm told that the music, the choice of songs and my voice can help people feel peace. Especially, I'm told this when people are dying, and I want my next album to be songs to help people in the dying process. So I started thinking about it, and I thought, we're all trapped at home. I've got technology, I can sing online. I think we need prayers for healing like we did in the Abbey. So every Wednesday in March 2020, I started offering chants and prayers for healing. I still do it every Wednesday online. This Wednesday will be episode 203. In these prayer services, yes, I sing and speak prayers, but ultimately, what we're doing is creating a space where others can show up, fully human, and name what is wrong, have their story heard, receive kindness, and then the community sends light to each other. That's the formula. And every week, dozens of people come and pray. It feels holy, and it helps me live at depth. It's been a really big thing that I stumbled into. I want to say again that healing is not cure. There's a friend of mine who has really terrible ME, chronic fatigue syndrome, I think you call it over here. Sometimes it even hurts her to blink. She's had this debilitating pain since she was about 9, and she's a little bit younger than me. My friend has taught me that healing is absolutely true and possible and given to her while cure has not been. My friend is a remarkable human being capable of sharing light and love and art from her bedside in a way that no one else can. Healing doesn't always look like the prayer ticket we offered to our God. I believe that all prayers are answered whether we recognize it or not. My friend David likes to say that prayer is not a vending machine. You put your energy in, and then you choose your chocolate bar and it comes out. It's not like that. Healing is a remarkable everyday holiness that nurtures life, all life. And we humans have the ability to influence healing through the medical arts and professions, but also through kindness, artistic expression, prayer, and intention. I'm going to end by sharing a musical example of what this looks like in my prayer life. This one is by Melanie Demore. You can soak it up or sing along. I'm sending you light to heal you, to hold you, sending you light to hold you in love. I am sending you light to heal you, to hold you, sending you light to hold you in love. No matter where you go, no matter where you've been, you'll never walk alone. I feel you deep within, and I am sending you light to heal you, to hold you, sending you light to hold you in love. I am sending you light to heal you, to hold you, sending you light to hold you in love. I'll walk the path with you. Go slow, dear one, don't hurry. I'll go just like you need to go. There is no need to worry. And I am sending you light to heal you, to hold you, sending you light to hold you in love. I am sending you light to heal you, to hold you, sending you light hold you in love. I am sending you light to heal you, to hold you, sending you light to hold you in love. And if you have an illness in your body, folks online and in here, take this next one and place it right in your body. I am sending you light to heal you, to hold